Hello, viewers. Today I'm going to take you on a journey to unlock the perfect 3-day itinerary. If you're worrying about not knowing what to organize for your first time there, or worried about stepping on toes and missing out on the highlights, then be sure to watch this video carefully. This city is intertwined with canals, art and food, and has so many options that you'll be dazzled. But don't worry. This itinerary was put together after many field trips and is in a choose-around adventure mode. Whether you like to wander through museums, eat authentic food, or want to leisurely roam the canals, you'll find something to do. And all the information is up to date and verified in 2026. So it's guaranteed to be accurate and reliable, so you can refer to it with confidence. Don't forget to see the end, where there are super useful travel tips, and we'll also tell you how to get the attraction booking links. Now just follow me on my way. First of all, our 3-day itinerary was planned in layers. Day 1 focuses on classic downtown attractions and canal rambles. Day 2 focuses on in-depth cultural and historical tours to get a deeper sense of the city's heritage. And Day 3 takes you out of the city center and explores the North End's niches or opts for day trips around the area. You can flexibly adjust the itinerary according to your own interests. Isn't that sweet? The first day is very packed, so make sure you start with an authentic breakfast. Dutch people love bread. You can choose bread with cheese sauce or chocolate sprinkles. It's super satisfying and has a very local feel to it. If you want a more substantial brunch, that's fine too. I've long been obsessed with the brunch culture, and I've tried a single meal for one at Greenwood, which was huge and tasted amazing, so I recommend trying it. I would recommend trying it out. However, I would like to remind you that the first day of the trip is quite tight. So make sure you have a full breakfast and a couple of cups of coffee to energize yourself for the whole day's activities. After you've had enough to eat and drink, I'll teach you another super practical tip. Make sure you leave as early as possible. Because the later it gets, the more crowded the core sightseeing areas get. The streets and canals are especially peaceful in the early morning, allowing you to experience the beauty of the city more comfortably. We started our walk in Darmok, which is one of the most iconic photo meccas in the city. The canals and the old buildings reflect each other, and any photo you take is a postcard quality photo. Be sure to take a souvenir photo here. From Damrock, head down the picturesque Debol Pestagio to reach Dam Square. This is the center of the city, and although there are a lot of pigeons, it's well worth a visit as a historical landmark to get a feel for the lively atmosphere. Next, we'll head to the 9 quarters of Dungeness Strasbourg. This is a treasure area, full of vintage boutiques, designer stores and cute cafes. The streets have a very distinctive look, with a mix of canal-side buildings. It's a cozy place to stroll around. You can stroll around at your own pace, go in when you see a small store you like, or sit in front of a cafe for a while and take countless pictures of the canal. The atmosphere can really be mesmerizing. For more focused exploration, there are plenty of niche museums to choose from as well. The Boathouse Museum, for example, gives you a glimpse of what the inside of a boathouse looks like in all its cool glory, and an insight into the lives of the locals who lived on their boats. There's also the Canal Museum, which gives you a comprehensive look at the history of the canals, how they were built, and what impact they had on the development of the city. The Maison de Marseille is also well worth a visit. It was the city's first photography museum and is housed in a fine 17th century canal mansion with a very charming garden that is very pleasant to wander through. After these places, we could also check out Bloemfontein, the world's only floating flower market. Although there are a lot of tourists here, you don't have to buy too many things, just browse the tulip souvenirs and feel the lively atmosphere of the flower market. There is also a Dutch cheese store next to the market, which offers free tastings. So you can try different flavors of cheese and buy some as a souvenir if you like. Before we knew it, it was time for lunch. Because the first day's itinerary is relatively compact. So we recommend that you have a quick lunch, so as to save time to go to more places. The Dutch are really masters of snacks and have a superb selection of fast food. For example, the French fries at Flamenco's Fries House are highly recommended. Crispy on the outside and tender on the inside, with a special sauce that tastes superb. If you want to try something new, search for Febo and find a hot food vending machine. It's a quick and easy way to get a variety of Dutch snacks. If you want to sit down and eat, many pubs serve Dutch snacks, fried sausages. Meatballs and fish cakes are all very authentic, so give them a try. Be sure to save some of your stomach for dessert, though. The streets are full of classic desserts, such as syrup waffles. 2 extremely thin slices of waffle sandwiched between caramelized syrup, which is crunchy and sweet but not too sweet. There are also mini muffins, which are delicious when dusted with powdered sugar. Eat one when you're tired of shopping for an instant energy boost. After you've had your fill, it's time to stroll through the museum area in the afternoon. This area brings together 4 major art museums and open lawns. There are usually a lot of events going on here, and it's also great for people watching, with a superb atmosphere. However, we made the next day a dedicated museum day. So we didn't have to rush the first afternoon and mainly just soaked up the atmosphere. If people still have a lot of energy and want to take a shallow stroll, there are plenty of great options. The National Museum of the Netherlands, for example, houses a number of exhibitions on Dutch art and history, as well as a very ornate library. The Van Gogh Museum is a must-visit for art lovers. It houses the largest collection of Van Gogh's works in the world and offers a complete view of the evolution of his artistic style throughout his life. However, it is important to note that there will be a special exhibition Van Gogh and Nature until March 2026, and a special exhibition Van Gogh and Japan from April to September, which will showcase the influence of Japanese art on his work. You can choose according to your schedule. In addition, the Stedelijk Museum, with its distinctive bathtub-like appearance, displays contemporary artworks from all over the world. While the Mako Museum, though small in size, has a collection of works by the famous graffiti artist Banksy, which is a good place for those who like street art to pay attention to. You can check and get booking links for all these attractions through the official website of the tourist office afterwards, which is very convenient. After strolling through the museum area, it's time for the most romantic moment, the Sunset Canal Cruise. Although some of you may think that the cruise is a tourist program, it would really be a shame if you don't spend some time on top of the canal. Here, I would like to give you a few tips. First of all, always choose the sunset time. At this time the sun is soft and the whole city is colored warm yellow, like a magic veil. The view is very beautiful. Secondly, choose a cabin that is at least partially open so that you can take stunning photos. Unless you're visiting in the dead of winter, it's a different story. In addition, you can also choose some cruise programs with special features, such as a boat that offers unlimited wine and cheese. So you can enjoy the view and taste the food at the same time, and the experience will be pulled straight to the fullest. It has been verified that this themed cruise operated by Lovers Canal Cruises is still in operation in 2026. Departing daily at 20 o'clock from Prince Hendrik's Embankment 25 near the central station for a 90-minute trip. With an adult ticket price of €35, which includes 3 types of white wine, 2 types of red wine, 2 types of rose, and a wide selection of local Dutch cheeses. People can book online in advance to ensure a seat. After the cruise, it's time for dinner. On the first day, we recommend trying the classic Dutch flavors. And even though Dutch food is not particularly well rated, even by the Dutch themselves, you should still try the authentic and traditional dishes. Matter's restaurant is a classic choice. Established in 1978, this restaurant specializes in authentic Dutch home cooking. Reservations are required 1 to 2 days in advance. The signature dish, stormpout, is a large sausage with mashed potatoes, mixed with other vegetables and topped with gravy. It's rich in flavor and filling. Another specialty is the hosie pot, which consists of carrots and mashed potatoes. Usually served with gravy and sometimes accompanied by sausage, and is very full of flavor. Also very distinctive is the Dutch pea soup, thick enough to stand up on a spoon, which is packed with chunks of pork and vegetables, making it very nutritious and especially suitable for cold weather. If you're not interested in Dutch food, that's fine. There are plenty of other international cuisines to choose from, so there's always something for you. After dinner, it's time to soak up the nighttime atmosphere. And there are 2 activities to choose from. If you're looking for a hunt, you can take a stroll through the famous red light district. The iconic red light windows are lit up at night, and the neighborhood has a great sense of atmosphere with many specialty shows, stores and bars. However, while the red light district is an important part of the tourist appeal, personally don't really recommend it as a main pastime. For a more cozy, authentic local vibe, I highly recommend the Brown Cafe, or Brown Bar as it's often called. This kind of place is like a traditional pub and is a great place to have a drink and enjoy refreshments. Here, you are also likely to meet friendly locals and have a chat with them to learn a bit about the local life. Top pick is in Epien, a bar right next to the red light district and said to be the oldest bar. Inside the store, there is a statue of a monkey, which is said to have been used by sailors in the past to pay for their drinks, and it has a strong storytelling atmosphere that you can experience. This is the end of the first day's tour. You should have a good rest and refreshment, ready to start the second day of the cultural and historical tour. The second day of the trip focuses on the depth of the cultural heritage. So it is important to eat a good breakfast and get enough caffeine so that you have the energy to visit the popular attractions. There are still plenty of options for breakfast, so you can continue with authentic Dutch bread or find a favorite restaurant for brunch. The key is to eat and drink enough. The highlight of the next morning is the Anne Frank house, witnessing the years when Anne Frank's entire family was in hiding during the Nazi occupation of Holland and the place where she wrote her famous diary, Anne's Diary. This building is of great historical importance. However, it's important to note that this is a really popular attraction, and the ticket booking policy has been changed for 2026. Tickets will be available on Tuesdays at 10 a.m. CT for 6 weeks from now and can only be booked through the official website with no on-site ticketing. Tickets cost €16.50 for adults, including a €1 booking fee, and €1 for children between 0 and 9 years old. The residence is open from 9 a.m. to 22 p.m. on special days, such as January 1st. It is open from 12 p.m. to 10 p.m. On September 21st, Yom Kippur, the residence will be closed. Please check the opening hours in advance. If possible, we recommend that you try to visit at the earliest time of the day, so that you can visit in a relatively empty environment and feel the heavy history more quietly. If you are not able to grab a ticket for Anne Frank's home or want to experience other programs, you can choose other popular attractions, such as the National Museum of the Netherlands or the Van Gogh Museum. Although these places are also popular, they will be relatively less crowded. Especially if you choose an early visit, the experience will be better. The Dutch National Museum is open all year round in 2026, including holidays such as January 1st and December 25th, and is open from 9 o'clock to 17 o'clock. So you can make arrangements without worry. Tickets for the special exhibition at the Van Gogh Museum need to be purchased separately, so you can choose whether to visit or not. After the morning sightseeing tour, it is time for lunch. It is recommended that you join the food tour on the second day, which is an excellent choice because the Netherlands has many classic must-try dishes, such as raw herring and a variety of fried foods. For novice travelers, eating too much at one time may get tiresome. By joining a food tour, you will be able to taste the best of various cuisines with precision and learn the stories behind them. If you don't want to join the food tour, you can also do your own DIY to explore the most popular street food and take your time to experience the local food culture. After you've had your fill of food and drink, you can continue exploring the neighborhood and museums in depth in the afternoon. You can return to the Jordan district, the area where Anne Frank's former home is located. The classic look of the area is very distinctive. In addition to the previously mentioned museums, there are popular attractions such as the Automatic Piano Museum, the Cheese Museum, and the Tulip Museum, all of which are well worth a visit. If people are willing to travel a little further, the Jewish Quarter also has many wonderful attractions. For example, the Yosemite Synagogue offers a detailed insight into Jewish history. The Portuguese Synagogue, built in 1675, is a magnificent synagogue with a distinctive architectural style. And the National Holocaust Memorial is a sobering but vital museum that documents the impact of the Holocaust on the Netherlands, which is very moving to visit. If you feel you've done enough sightseeing in the city, you might also consider visiting the North End. However, we will have a dedicated North End exploration itinerary on the third day, so you can be flexible according to your energy. Before we knew it, it was time for dinner. Given that we've already sampled classic Dutch dishes last night, tonight I recommend trying the Indonesian rice platter. This very popular dish, which originated during the Dutch colonization of Indonesia, translates to rice table and offers a variety of Indonesian-style small dishes served with rice and side dishes. It is a very satisfying dish that allows you to enjoy a variety of flavors in one meal. There are many restaurants where you can savor this delicacy. I've had it before at Long Restaurant in the Jordan district and it tastes authentic. This restaurant also has a normal business status for 2026, so you can go there without any worries. After dinner, if you are still in the mood, you may want to taste Geneva wine, a specialty of the Netherlands. This spirit is the traditional spirit of the Netherlands and is considered the originator of modern gin. It is distilled from a base of malt liquor and flavored with juniper berries. This spirit has been passed down in the region for centuries. The spirit is usually served in small tulip-shaped glasses, full to the rim. It can be savored in the city's old bars. To level up the experience, you can also book a specialty tasting event or a tour of the distillery to get an in-depth look at how this spirit is made. However, be warned to stay within your means, as there are plenty of highlights waiting for you on day 3. Day 3 will take you away from the city center to explore a more diverse flavor of the city. This is an adventure that is completely up to you, and you can adjust my recommended morning or afternoon itinerary as you wish. If you feel you've explored enough, you can also choose to take part in the colorful day trips on the third day. Next, I'll start by telling you about popular options for day trips around the neighborhood. There are many great places that can be reached within an hour from Central Station. For example, Zanskopf, a lovely neighborhood not far from the city center, is known for its traditional green wooden houses, 7 museums with different themes and 8 historic windmills with a strong Dutch countryside feel. Be aware, however, that from February 27th to March 28th in the winter of 2026, only part of the exhibition area will be open here, with the full opening taking place on March 28th, from 9 o'clock to 17:30 hours. Please make arrangements according to your travel time. In addition, Rotterdam is well worth a visit. The city is known for its unique modern architecture that contrasts with the classical style. Those who love the art of architecture should not miss it. Utrecht has a similar atmosphere to Rotterdam, but with fewer tourists. You can feel the daily atmosphere of a Dutch city in a more relaxed way. Delft, on the other hand, is known for its iconic blue pottery and beautiful canals, and is an excellent choice for experiencing traditional Dutch craftsmanship and the waterfront. The Hague, home to the International Court of Justice and the International Criminal Court, combines political solemnity with urban charm for those interested in international affairs or history and culture. If you wish to do this on your last day, I recommend starting a morning tour after breakfast to explore the new style. Just across the water from Grand Central Station is the cool North End, depending on interest. There are two options for exploring this morning. Option A is the NDSM district, which is a little further out and requires about a 15-minute free ferry ride from Central Station. Once a shipyard, numerous old warehouses have been transformed into chic art spaces and trendy dining venues. The highlight is the Strass Museum, which specializes in giant street art. The open-air area is also covered in street graffiti and has a great art scene. If you're tired of wandering, take a break at PLC Restaurant. This restaurant is a converted shipping container with a man-made beach overlooking the river. It's a great place to sit and enjoy the breeze and the view. Option B is to visit the This is Holland theme park. It's just across the river from Grand Central Station, and only a 3-minute ride on the free ferry, which is super convenient. This northern strip is home to a number of cool attractions, including the iMovie Museum, an 8-meter tower, and the This is Holland 5D flight simulator, which allows you to virtually travel throughout the Netherlands. Although it's very touristy, it does have an excellent reputation. Those who like interactive experiences will not be disappointed. It should be noted that the ferry from Central Station to the North District operates 24 hours a day, about 15 minutes during the day, and a little less frequently at night. But the whole journey is free of charge and very convenient. If you're energetic, consider scheduling both early in the morning to fully experience the unique charm of the North End for a more in-depth exploration of the cooler spots. You can also delve inland to find the lesser-known parks and specialty cafes for a relaxing time. At lunchtime, be sure to try a Dutch pancake or Heptapa if you haven't already. Dutch pancakes are usually served for lunch or dinner, not breakfast, so you can enjoy them without worry. The pancakes come in a variety of sweet and savory options, both of which are very unique. As for the apple pie, this is a dessert that will satisfy your taste buds anytime. When you see the portion sizes here, you'll understand why I didn't set aside extra appetite and time to accommodate other foods before. Stores serving these sweet treats can be found everywhere in town. If you're heading back across the river, there are a couple of recommended popular names like the historic Heptapa Elon Café, which also hides secret passages that are very exploratory. Here's a special reminder that the previously famous Vinkel 43 apple pie shop will be closing on January 25, 2026 due to a rent expiration. The new store is still under preparation. You can follow their official social media for follow-up information. If planning to visit, please do so before this date. Now, let's take that sugar rush and move on to kick off the afternoon. The point of the afternoon is to choose the niche cool programs that interest you. There are more museums and attractions than you can visit in a year, let alone in only 3 days. So it's important to set priorities and do one thing that really interests you in the final afternoon hours. The beauty of museums is that no matter how cold your interests are, you can always find a place to belong here. From cat pipes and boathouse science to maritime history and beyond, there's everything here. For a one-of-a-kind experience, I suggest you return to the red light district and visit the Lord of the Attic Museum. Tucked away in the attic of a 17th century mansion, this museum is a historical site. It is a historically important witness to a time when Catholics were not allowed to practice their faith openly. The old church, the oldest building in the city, is also nearby and worth a visit. And of course there are several museums related to the red light district to choose from, depending on one's interests. Art lovers will be equally delighted. The Rembrandt residence allows you to delve into the life and works of the artist in his former residence. Or head to the Musée de la Fontaine, a 17th century canal house with fine paintings, porcelain and furniture, as well as stunning gardens that make for a very pleasant stroll. For a very different atmosphere, science lovers can head to the Nemo Science Museum. This museum features several interactive science exhibits that allow visitors to learn about science while having fun. Other options include the Human World Exhibit Hall and the Microcosmic Museum. The Microcosmic Museum is the world's first museum to focus on the wonderful world of microorganisms and is very interesting. The Ketcha Cabinet Museum is also very interesting. This miniature museum in a historic canal house displays a large collection of cat-themed artwork and is not to be missed by cat lovers. There is also a dedicated pipe museum, which is niche and unique. Of course, if you just want to relax, Vaudeville Park or one of the city's other sprawling green spaces may be just the place you need to go. It's also a great experience to sit down on the lawn, catch some breeze and sun, and reflect on the 3 days of your trip. After the last of the sightseeing comes to an end, it's time to kick off dinner time. This meal should be unforgettable, and although it sounds a little vague, hear me out. At this point, you should have sampled all the must-try cuisines. So the focus of your last meal should be on unique experiences that you will never forget. For example, book a restaurant on the banks of the canal and enjoy a meal while taking in the night view for the perfect end to your trip. Or opt for a special themed dinner, such as the ritualistic 3-course dinner in the original waiting room at the central station. Or, if you're on a budget, a picnic along the picturesque river banks can be just as unforgettable. The terrace of the Nemo Science Museum and the Pine Tree Museum are good choices. You can prepare some food and drinks in advance to enjoy a romantic dinner time. The 3-day itinerary is all over here. Next, I'll share with you a few more super useful travel tips to make your journey in the Netherlands smoother. First of all, transportation. The ferry in the north is free and very convenient from the central station, with many departures during the daytime, so you don't have to wait too long. In addition, the train to the surrounding cities is also very convenient, and you can get to a lot of places within an hour. You can choose to buy tickets on site or use the Dutch OV card. Secondly, regarding tickets, popular attractions must be booked in advance, especially the Anne Frank House and Van Gogh Museum. The Anne Frank House only opens for tickets 6 weeks later on Tuesdays at 10 a.m., so be sure to set your alarm to grab your tickets on time. Official booking links for all attractions are easily accessible through the Tourist Board's website. In terms of food, Febo hot food vending machines have more than 20 stores in the Netherlands. But a few, such as Tiesmuiden, have closed, so avoid them when you choose. For apple pie, in addition to Vinkel 43, Heptapa Elon Café is also a great choice with relatively low crowds. I hope today's itinerary is helpful. Please remember to like and subscribe to my channel if you found this guide useful. I'll be sharing more useful tips for traveling in Europe in the future. If you have any other travel questions or travel destinations you would like to know more about, please feel free to leave them in the comment section and I will try to answer them. Lastly, have a great trip and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.